And one of the big reasons why it is so commonly banned away is because it does so well against a lot of the meta AD carries at the moment. Take Kaisa, for example. Low range, low wave clear in the early game. Varus paired up with a strong support can, of course, batter down at you, utilize that range advantage, poke you, and push you out of the lane. So this could actually shift priorities on Mad Lion's bot lane choice.
And we've already heard the analyst desk talk about how important early game priority is for DAMWON Kia. Getting Canyon into a position where he can get all of the scuttle crabs, where he can get into the enemy jungle. Varus does that so well. Udyr locked in alongside the Kaiser for the Mad Lions, and immediately DAMWON Kia get the Tahm Kench for some safety in their bottom lane and the Rumble in the jungle.
It's the exact pairing you want there with the Tahm Kench next to the Varus, and now you're looking at DAMWON with such an insane range advantage just in the first 3 picks, right? You see Udyr Kaisa on the other side. Well, you come into a team fight, you see the Equalizer coming at you from a mile away. Varus, of course, can poke, can lock you down too, and it gives DAMWON all they need, the soft engage from far away, and now we get to see Humanoid lock in his Zoe against ShowMaker, one of the best Zoe players in the world. That's some spice.
Historically, Humanoid only has a negative win rate on Zoe. He has brought it out throughout his career, but he's never really had a huge amount of success on the champion. Now, that's not to say that he can't play it, but his record does suggest that he is going to be fighting an uphill battle, as Man now look to remove a couple more mid laners that ShowMaker could use to answer it.
Yeah, get rid of the Orianna, perhaps look towards removing the Victor as well, just a ubiquitous mid laner that we have seen throughout the course of the tournament. DAMWON Kia are going to get rid of the Kaiser Nautilus combination that has been plaguing bottom lanes throughout the course of MSI.
Yeah, one of the great things for the Mad Lions here is they can hold off on last pick for their top laner. They already see the bot lane matchup, so you expect to see the Nautilus ban, maybe a Leona ban perhaps, and then go towards whatever your all-in support is going to be. And I do like that DAMWON are banning away Armut's signature Wukong. If he found a good angle, he found a good position to lock that in. I think Wukong can do very well into a pick like the Tahm Kench. Obviously, having that AoE knock-up, that AoE CC in the backline can be brutal.
Now, what are Mad going to lock in their bot lane? Will they look at something like the Leona? Wow, they're actually, right now, going to save their support for last pick. They want to see exactly what they're going up against, as they're going to blind pick top. They're going to pick the Jayce and say, we don't think you have that many good answers to it. DAMWON going to hover the Shen. Of course, this was picked into them last time. Then the second time they met up, they hovered the Shen a few times to taunt the Mad Lions. And I think that Khan, we know he does have quite a deep champion pool. He's been a bit of a role player so far this year. And the Yone,
that's ShowMaker's Yone!
It's going to be ShowMaker's Yone into the Zoe as well. Wow.
Oh my word. We've seen picks like the Yone, like the Yasuo be very successful into Zoe in the past, but this is a way to start off game one. You already have magic damage coming out of the jungle. That's what the Rumble is going to give you. And now ShowMaker can show off a little bit of style. And you look at it, the long range initiation now within Ornn, the range advantage you have, and then this mix-up, this Yone pick that if he's able to get onto some priority targets, well, where's the appeal for the Mad Lions? You have 3 very vulnerable champions on the backline already.
I feel like DAMWON have really strong scaling. They have an easy way to start team fights. So remember, Ornn ult into Rumble ult, that's before the rest of the engage even comes through from Yone and Varus as well. Like, this team fight comp from DAMWON, even if they fall behind early, I feel like they're going to be able to do some crazy stuff in the fights later on. But you can see Mad's game plan is to have a strong top side. They've tried to get themselves that pushing mid jungle, that strong 2v2 so they can contest that early vision that DAMWON is so well known for. They have a winning top side matchup in the early game. I think that Mad Lions have put a lot of eggs in the early game basket. The question is, can they match DAMWON in the early game? Can they get that lead and can they snowball before DAMWON have an opportunity to find those crazy team fights that they have available to them?
That's exactly the challenge that Mad Lions are going to have, but they came in with this very clear style, and this is where they get to test that theory. Does it actually work out? If it doesn't, they may have to go a very different direction for game number 2. But we were just seconds away from loading onto the Rift. DAMWON Gaming, the reigning world champions, going up against a new face at MSI, the Mad Lions from Europe. And heavy underdogs in this series. But what a story it would be.
Well, last time we saw a Korean and a European team face off at MSI in a best-of-5. It was G2 versus SKT. G2 went on to win it in 2019. It feels like a very long time ago, but you must remember the LEC are the defending MSI champions, and Mad Lions have a mountain to climb if they are to continue Europeans' winnings ways here.
Whew. Well, now that the big pictures have been set, let's get a little
I do love setting a big picture.
I know, it's
great.
important stuff, but let's get into the more nuanced stuff. So we can already see this early vision from DAMWON.
Yeah, draw some circles.
Wards have been placed, and information is being gathered by DAMWON. They see the potential delayed invade. Mad's not going to overextend. They're going to drop their own wards, and then they're going to back away off of that. You imagine that the sweepers are going to be grabbed by both support and jungle, and DAMWON not going to do anything too crazy in the early game. Same can be said for Mad.
Interestingly enough, though, looking at Canyon here, he decided to go with the Conqueror. Now, I double-checked, he is running ability haste, so he could have started with W, smashed that at level 1 to make sure he goes for the overheat, but it looks like he wants to start on his Raptor camp, potentially fearing an early invade. Now, it was spotted out on early vision, and he is now pathing towards the top side of the map, so already Canyon has some sort of idea here that Elyoya, with some early priority, especially looking at the Jayce on the top side, could have been preparing for an early invade, but by making sure he takes his Raptors, that sort of stops Elyoya from wanting to walk into the bot side jungle, and now Canyon can take his own top side camps before Elyoya could even get over there to work with that Jayce.
Canyon's quite smart.
It's a very intelligent jungler.
Good stuff from him. Now Humanoid will get the early level 2, will poke ShowMaker out just a little bit. Kind of what we expect with the Zoe. In too many matchups, she does have early priority. But against a melee champion in particular, you have to be aggressive. He's going to burn those corrupting pots to even go for those trades as well. And good pressure from Humanoid in the mid lane.
And I did double check. ShowMaker's only played this Yone one time before for a loss. 2 times?
2 times.
All right, double check that.
Won once, lost once.
Gotcha. All right. Well, looking at the level 6, especially between ShowMaker and Canyon, I mean, throw Con in there for a roam towards the mid lane. You have such an ability to lock up this Zoe, especially if Humanoid loses his flash before level 6 comes through. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. If that flash could ever be blown, that influence can be huge. But you look at the supports, Tahm, Kench, not necessarily the strongest champion when it comes to like roaming mid off of an early reset and looking to blow us up. And
we are already seeing the priority that you guys predicted in the pick and ban phase. Top lane, Mad Lions have the push. Armut is forcing Khan back. Humanoid in the mid lane is forcing ShowMaker underneath his tower, and it gives Elyoya the opportunity to walk into this jungle. But because Canyon is that very smart jungler that you mentioned, Vedius, he has already cleared out his entire top side, and so both junglers will get a full clear of their jungle and a Scuttle Crab to boot.
See, meanwhile, on the bot side, they are struggling a little bit. The Varus, very powerful in lane, especially when paired with the Tahm Kench. It's an incredibly potent 2 versus 2. Interestingly, Carzzy starting with the longsword, getting himself a lot more health pots to help him survive the early laning phase. They dropped a ward towards the bot side of the map to see if they can get some insight into what is happening. Perhaps Canyon looking for an early dive, considering Carzzy's HP bar, and it looks like for now that they will be safe. Only a little bit behind, so pretty solid for Carzzy, but this matchup will only continue to be difficult, especially once Ghost hits that level 6 mark.
And we have seen Elyoya in the past, like, domestically, he's had to go against junglers that play the very farming style. Like, the LEC finals, he was up against Inspired, who was, you know, sort of king of the min-maxers. Canyon, very similar, has perfected the style of fully optimizing his jungle clears. And often Elyoya's answer into that is more early game aggression, trying to find an angle at which he can look for an early attack. And on the Udyr, of course, one of the fastest junglers when it comes to clearing his jungle early on, but does still have some strong gank options. You look at it, though, bot lane, very hard to find a gank. Top lane too, Con, unless he's been whittled down in the lane, it's not really going to happen. And as far as mid, ShowMaker has just been allowing the wave to crash into him, has not overextended whatsoever.
What's impressive about ShowMaker in mid is that he has stayed even in CS, hasn't burnt his teleport, hasn't burnt a pot in the 1 versus 1, and thanks to his fleet footwork is actually staying relatively healthy. So huge props to him really navigating the 1v1 extremely well.
Well, look at this, Elyoya now in the jungle. There's no smite for Canyon.
Elyoya will steal away the first jungle camp, and even if it is not a huge victory, it is definitely a moral victory there for Elyoya.
Absolutely. I mean, DAMWON's usually the team that fights you over every single camp in the early game, but Mad Lions, that is tracking going back to minute 1.
Yep.
When they placed a ward on DAMWON's Raptors, saw that Canyon went for the Raptor camp, then towards his top side. Well, it sets you up very nicely.
Kaiser flashing in. Beryl will have the thick skin. Kaiser trying to survive here. Ghost just needs one more auto, and the damage from the tower is enough. Kaiser survives. Carzzy able to farm up underneath the tower. Ghost forced back by a tower shot as well.
Oh,
but
what?
Carzzy!
He overstays. He ends up trading 1-for-1. That could have been such a huge opportunity for Mad. And then Carzzy throws it away. Beautifully played by Ghost to get a kill back.
It looked like it was perfect for the Mad Lions. They got first blood. Somehow Kaiser gets away with just a sliver of HP, but now you zoom out and, well, you're down 20 CS in that bot lane. On top of it being a 1-for-1 trade where Ghost got to stick around and fully push that wave in. So a really disastrous turn there.
Not expecting that amount of damage. Carzzy as well running the cleanse instead of heal for that chain of corruption later on means that he didn't have the ability to heal himself up through the fight. Call of the Fortune is going to come down here in the top lane. Armut knocked up with the brittle and a great knock up there from Khan. Armut's going to have to flash away, but the ignite from Khan is enough. He's ticking. Khan will take the tower shot. Khan dies, and Armut survives.
Armut is able to get the solo bolo on the top side again. They're just playing on the absolute edge of a knife there, and ultimately what it comes down to is Khan, level 6 switches over to ignite. You have all in threat, but didn't land the initial brittle proc of his ultimate. If he gets that, that's a kill onto Armut, no questions asked.
Ooh. Wow, Mad Lions definitely putting up a fight in the early game, and Armut, I think he's received a lot of criticism that he wants to try and redeem himself for, as now the bot lane is under attack.
Carzzy cleanses away the exhaust canyon, not yet level 6. There's the tongue lash, and Carzzy will be slowed, has to flash under the tower. Otherwise, we've already seen the devastation that a Varus can reach.
The wave is now in a very awkward spot for the Mad Lions bot lane. I imagine that DAMWON can look to either freeze it or they can just push it out and then go for a reset themselves. Kaiser, after the gank, decided to abandon the lane, look for a roam up towards mid. That ShowMaker continues to play extremely well. I'm just so impressed with how he's been able to keep an even CS up against this Zoe matchup, even with the Ignite sitting on Humanoid right now. But let's have a look back at this 1v1.
Yeah, look at this. Armut sidesteps that initial brittle proc, right? Would give him the extra damage. Of course, Khan doesn't have that little bit extra he needs underneath the tower. It is so close, and he thinks he has it. But Armut with the potion ticking and the turret shot turning it around, Khan ends up falling.
Look at the face of Armut there. Very pleased after working out that play. Beautifully done from the top laner of Mad Lions.
It really was. Lots of people doubted him. You can see here from Mick in Verizon 5G all chat. He said, boys, don't forget about Armut. We have not. The two-time TCL champion, as Dracos loves to remind us. Armut stepping up here, a 14 CS lead for him in the top lane, has that serrated dirt complete. And he was a wonder for us when we were talking about this game backstage, whether Armut would be able to step up and face off against Khan.
And critically, it was Armut that went for the blind pick. Jayce on the top side said, give that to me, I'm going to get early prio. Not only got that kill under the tower, is now 20 CS, has allowed Elyoya to get 2 resets of that Gromp Camp top lane. And now, as DAMWON have made this full rotation up towards the top side, you can even see Ghost is now making his way to secure this Rift Herald. They want the objective.
Mad Lions should make their way towards Drake. Notice that they're going to push in mid. Elyoya has his eyes actually on the bot side camps. He wants to try and take away as much from Canyon as possible. Elyoya does have the level advantage, has a huge CS advantage as well. Question is, will they go for the red buff too, or will they just take the Raptors for now?
Ooh, I think there's a world here where they can actually completely cut off DAMWON from making it to the bot lane tower, because yes, Elyoya is getting himself ahead, but you also have a huge wave in the bot lane too.
ShowMaker dodges forward, dodges back. Elyoya will smite it away. The Abyssal Voyage brought Beryl and Ghost a little bit closer to that bottom lane. Carzzy has been gifted a plate here as he was standing alone down towards that bottom side. 9 minutes in, Mad Lions have a 1,400 gold lead. But we have seen DAMWON easily come back from situations like this before.
If we have an opportunity, I'd love to swap over to the gold. Thank you, observers. Perfect timing. As we can see, small advantages being gained, but the really big difference is actually in the top and the jungle for Mad Lions. I think this was a big point of contention coming into this series in particular, because I think we all agreed when it comes to clear differences, Canyon should be leaps and bounds ahead of the young player in Elyoya, and question marks arose around Armut. Would he be able to compete against a staple player like Khan, who's known for his consistency and reliability in lane? And so far, both are performing in the early game.
And Armut and Elyoya, the 2 players added to this roster after Mad Lions crashed and burned at Worlds last year. So already in Game 1 against the reigning world champions, very impressive stuff. Now you might ask, why did Mad Lions not go for the Drake on the bot side? So often we see that being the trade, but I do think that was a very smart decision from Elyoya and the rest of the team, saying, actually, with all these jungle camps up, with being able to deny minions in the bot lane, it's more important to get the gold, get the experience, and trade up in that over the Rift Herald, because, again, I think Mad Lions need to have this advantage coming out of the early game to succeed the later we get in.
Well, this is the next question I have, Ender. Do you think this early game lead is big enough right now? Obviously, we're only 10 minutes into the game, but I keep my eyes on ShowMaker. The longer this lane goes, the easier this matchup actually becomes for the Yone. And as the game progresses, he's also going to be a huge side lane threat as well, as we see him playing top.
There's the equalizer call to the Forge God down as well. Armut does not have his flash and doesn't have anywhere to go. Canyon will burn him down, and Khan takes the kill.
Excellent return there, just seconds before Armut gets his summoner spell back up. DAMWON know that Mad Lions want to be playing for the objective on the bot side, so yes, they're able to attack the top lane and get the kill. And I would say to your question, Vedius, the lead is large enough to be able to convert. The question is, can they actually execute? Because that is where it becomes so challenging. And if Armut continues to be ganked and repeatedly dove in this top side of the map, he's going to lose so much of his advantage.
We didn't talk about it, but I do want to quickly highlight it. Yone's E
into Zoe
at the right time. If you time it perfectly, you can actually completely mitigate the CC, which means that ShowMaker's never afraid to take these trades and tank the bottle because he does have to flash though, because the 3 members of Mad did show up in the mid lane as DAMWON immediately answer bot with the Rift Herald looking to secure the first tower of the game.
Yeah, Mad Lions, I mean, they're sprinting down bot side because they want to force them off the tower, get a fight at the worst possible scenario for them, and DAMWON will not get all the gold distributed to the rest of the team.
And just a moment ago, Vedius said, is this gold lead enough? Well, now it's half of what it was. It's only 500 gold advantage for the Mad Lions. Those plates in the bottom lane really paying dividends for DAMWON Kia.
And I will say, typically when you have a strong mid jungle and you also have a winning top side, the early Herald is what you want to play for. Maybe even unlock the mid lane, unlock the top lane to really start that snowball going. Securing that first tower can really accelerate your top side of the map, which Mad Lions were unable to do. So DAMWON will get their Varus, even more gold, 5,400, 1,200 ahead of Carzzy in the bot lane, and they've been able to answer back in the top side of the map too, as mid continues to scale. So I feel like even after that early deficit, DAMWON find themselves slowly bringing themselves back into the game.
And even though it looks like Canyon has been put behind in the jungle, he's only 100 gold behind Elyoya, 40 CS down. Top lane, Armut, who built up this great lead early on, has been shut down. There's only a 400 gold between these two players as well. And it becomes increasingly more difficult for Mad Lions to find avenues to fight in this game because they are no longer winning the pure 1v1s that they were at the start.
Exactly, and when we look at how these team fights are going to start playing out, the deeper we get into this one as well, I mean, DAMWON have such a great ability. If they show up to an objective first with a Rumble ultimate, with a Varus ultimate, with Ornn too, like, Mad Lions won't be able to find an avenue into a Dragon Pit, into some sort of fight. And of course, DAMWON have all this super long-range initiation tools as well, and when Mad Lions, they want to start a fight by playing slowly around Zoe cooldowns, the poke you can get with her and a Jayce too. That will not be easy if DAMWON show up with proper numbers and the ability to force a fight.
Looks like Mad Lions are going to try and force something on the other side of the map. Khan has the exhaust, has the flash, has the call of the Forge God's going to get the knock up here. The TP's Mad Lions looking for the full-in investment. Khan calls down the Forge God. Kaiser's still on the chase. The Magnet Storm will bring him back. Kaiser will fall for this, tries to flash away, but Khan gets a 1-for-1 in the bottom lane.
Pretty good trade overall for Khan. Yes, that tower's going to go down, but it was going to go down anyway as ShowMaker looks for the ult.
There's the sleep. There's no soul Unbound, and Humanoid with the flash away from the Fate Sealed manages to secure a solo bolo.
Armut gets the solo kill. Humanoid gets the solo kill. Just bot lane where it's been a bit even in the kill department goes, still winning out on that one. So good stuff from the Mad Lions. Again, staying just marginally ahead as we now get to the point where the map opens up, turrets go down, and mythic items become completed.
Whew. As exciting as it is to see Matt going toe-to-toe, getting these solo kills, finding great plays against DAMWON, the looming scaling potential of DAMWON is still there. But let's have a look back at this 1-versus-1 fight. You can see that Zoe Humanoid was able to land a long-range Q initially, and then ShowMaker tries to punish the ult on the answer back, just slightly out of range, which means that the sleep comes through, and there's no way for ShowMaker to escape without his flash event.
And as cool as Yone's ultimate looks, very telegraphed, a little bit slow to develop, so all Humanoid had to do was get a good flash away from it, and then Yone locked in place for that sleep to, of course, connect. Is a good kill from him, no doubt. Now we are just 45 seconds away from the next Drake of the game spawning. I think this is where DAMWON need to ask themselves if they want to contest it, because I do think their fight is quite strong at the moment, but ultimates are not quite there. It may not be all ready by the time that one spawns.
We want to highlight as well, Carzzy actually hitting level 10. Humanoid lands a good sleep.
Beryl can just act as a blocker here. The Powder Star coming out. Killer Instinct not going to be used there from Carzzy. Did have the option. No flash on Kaiser, no flash on Humanoid. Does make a fight for Mad Lions a little bit more tricky. But right now, DAMWON Kia investing in the top side, investing in ShowMaker. They got him solo pushing that lane. Mad will push him mid by themselves. Khan, Call of the Forge God not available. Humanoid diving in with a portal. Jump ever cross goes a little bit wide, and that tower still very healthy as Mad Lions turn their eyes back towards this Infernal Dragon.
So Mad choosing to just leave the top side alone. ShowMaker's going to take that farm, a little bit more solo experience, but with Mad using their numbers advantage, they threaten the mid-tier 1 and will guarantee themselves the second Drake of the game. I feel like this third Drake is going to be huge, Ender, because
100%.
we know that Mad are going to inevitably get outscaled. But if they can get third Drake, they can force DAMWON to fight in a situation that they perhaps do not want to go for. So we'll see as the game progresses how much control Mad can maintain on the bot side as DAMWON continue to ramp up.
I think the other question we have to ask is like the 1-versus-1, not between ShowMaker and Humanoid, but when we look at a side lane, ShowMaker versus Armut, does that ever, or when does that turn ShowMaker's way? Because with the Immortal Shield Bow and MR being itemized into in boots for Armut, that's got to be pretty good for ShowMaker, and he wasn't even in the mid lane in the last situation. DAMWON, of course, got 5 players in an area. They can sort of brute force Mad Lions out of the way, just like we saw Mad Lions do in the mid lane to them.
Carzzy is not with the Mad Lions right now. That Rift Herald will get a second charge. DAMWON Kia investing on getting both Shelly and Shirley to take down towers early on. They have a slight gold lead now. It's basically even between the two teams. It will seesaw back and forth depending on who is catching waves at any one point. But let's have a look at where we are in terms of items, guys. Everfrost complete on Khan in the top lane. Elyoya has one for himself. In fact, it's Mythics across the board apart from Canyon, who has now just finished his Night Harvester.
And the setup for this next fight is going to be super important as well. I think the Mad Lions, they dropped side lanes in the last one because they need a numbers advantage if they want to take space on the map, but DAMWON don't even necessarily have to give them that option. Vision control as well as Kaiser and Elyoya, they're teaming up, making sure that they can walk in and get vision themselves. That duo very powerful for looking for fights, for looking for plays, and you've got all 5 members sort of huddled around this river now.
Oh, with the tongue lash, Kaiser has the option to flash engage and goes in on ShowMaker. Carzzy diving in as well with the Killer Instinct. Call of the Forge God's going to hit across the back line and ShowMaker tries to open up. Fate sealed. Ghost already kills off Elyoya, and DAMWON Kia in the river will not give Mad Lions an inch.
Mad tried to force a fight in mid. They thought that they had caught out ShowMaker, but he beautifully danced around the fight and waited for the rest of his team to rejoin. After Mad had committed everything into the river, Humanoid and Armut couldn't contest. DAMWON had the numbers advantage. They were able to flip it around and get the teamfight win over Mad.
And when DAMWON want to fight, they press their ults and they go fight. Mad Lions need more patience, need to be able to find the right angles, find the right poke before it goes off. Carzzy just sort of went flying into that one. And DAMWON, with the smart outplay, with good outplay from ShowMaker, were able to turn that around. They then push in all the waves, get deep vision on the top side jungle as well. Pretty much everything they could possibly want to slow this game down, to control it up until the next dragon spawns.
We said in draft how strong DAMWON's team fighting is. Well, you had a little taste of it right there. The Call of the Forge God just stops Mad Lions from doing anything in the new Axe Effect replay.
So again, let's have a look at the positioning here. The collapse is on ShowMaker. He looks like he's out of position, but he's able to dance out to safety. Then you can see how Mad gets split up, and DAMWON focus on the 3 that are in the river. ShowMaker lands a great 2-man ultimate. It's just ultimate after ultimate after ultimate. They just keep coming out from DAMWON, and Humanoid and Armut cannot assist in the collapse.
Exactly. The weakness of Mad Lions comp, especially when it gets spread out like that, is Humanoid and Armut don't have a lot of tools to enter space on their own. You know, Zoe E pretty hard to hit unless people are running at you or you're sending it miles away across a wall. Armut doesn't have a lot to do on his own either. So once Elyoya got pushed away from those 2 players, they could offer pretty much nothing in the fight. And that's the strength of DAMWON's composition. The zone control they have through CC tools, through damage tools, through ultimates, it is oppressive.
And this is what DAMWON do so well. They push in for vision. You can see they know Mad Lions are there, but they know they have the zone control in the form of the Equalizer to force Kaiser down, to force Kaiser back, and they get further, deeper vision into the Mad Lions jungle. Mad have to retreat. They really can't do anything about this pressure that DAMWON are putting down.
DAMWON just utilizing the pressure that ShowMaker create on the side lane so beautifully. You know that Yone in the 1v1 is so exceptionally powerful, and he's keeping this top wave pushed in, allows him to collapse first. They're also keeping the 3-man unit of Ghost, Beryl, and Canyon together in order to just keep control over the top side jungle. This then makes it so much easier as Mad is clearing out the top side. DAMWON can reset and then start investing the rest of their vision towards the bot side with the Drake spawning soon. If DAMWON are able to take this Drake away, it takes that 4 Drake win condition, and unfortunately for Mad, they are even playing with a Cloud Soul. So even if they secure that, it doesn't necessarily mean that the scaling is suddenly flipped or equalized in any way that an Ocean or perhaps a Mountain or an Infernal could offer.
And looking at the map right now, I think it's pretty unlikely Mad Lions even try to contest on the objective bot side instead, focusing everything around the Baron, setting up vision on that, making sure they can get this top lane tower and trade back some gold. But DAMWON, they're not even in the bottom river. They're contesting Mad Lions every step of the way here.
Beryl does have the flash, has the thick skin still available. Ignite is ticking. Paddle Star will come out as well. Canyon positioning himself for an equalizer as Khan has a flank, and you can feel it. The Forge God is about to be called. Khan decides against it. Mad Lions, too many players there right now.
The poke on Beryl, though, changes things. All of a sudden, the team fight for Mad Lions not looking completely unwinnable. Now, while ShowMaker is topside, he's resetting, and he has teleport. Their minions in the bot lane, their ward that he can come in on.
Flash, killer instinct. They're looking for Khan. They're trying to take out the Ornn before the fight really starts. Khan able to get up towards the backside, but ShowMaker now TPing in to the midst of Mad. There's the call of the Forge God. Elyoya already down. The equalizer coming in as well, and the chase is on. Humanoid trying to do what he can with these paddle stars, but he just doesn't have the damage. DAMWON Kia are low. Beryl, 300 HP. Canyon slept. Humanoid portal. Oh, he missed it! It went wide with the flash. And perhaps that sums up this game for Mad Lions. So close, but so far. Kaiser dead. The double for ShowMaker. DAMWON Kia clean up in the river.
Mad Lions chose to hold their ground and to fight, but DAMWON Kia are the team fight kings, and they slam Mad Lions in the river.
Excellent patience from DAMWON. Just the positioning and the execution of their fight was flawless. Khan looked like he was out of position. Mad's idea was to attack one of the flanks by shutting down Khan, but even though he got very low, he flashed the safety of his teammates, and he did not drop. That allowed DAMWON to get the turnaround. They got themselves the fight. Now they're looking to get the Baron.
Elyoya, no flash. Does have the smite. Beryl is low. Armut coming in. Has the shock blast, of course. 2,000 HP on the Baron, but DAMWON Kia will secure it. Khan switch to the smite with the spellbook and takes the Baron. DAMWON Kia all walk out alive and now well and truly have control of this game.
Yeah, everything they need to close it out here, and I do feel like the Mad Lions felt the game slipping away. They felt outmatched when it came compositionally in the fights, and once they got the poke down, that was what they wanted. That was what they thought they needed to get the team fight victory. We can see ShowMaker can jump on forward here, snap back, just dancing on Carzzy, even baiting him in as he tries to finish off the kill, and as DAMWON walking away with the win in the fight.
Man, DAMWON in team fights are just so darn clean. Probably the best team fighting team in the world right now, and you see it to great effect in this game. They continue to control vision, continue to control the map. They managed to stop Mad Lions from getting towards Soul Point, and they have the Baron. And now they can use ShowMaker in a side lane once again to force Mad Lions out of position. Carzzy steps too far forward, and he is dead. You do not have an opportunity to breathe versus DAMWON Kia. They will choke you out.
He just melted. Canyon has been finding some pretty nasty equalizers in this one, and Mad Lions just trying to scramble to the base, get back in time. But DAMWON Kia, they've got ShowMaker full pushing that top wave, just playing on 2 lanes right now. They don't care about Humanoid chilling out in the bot side. They're trying to break up the base.
DAMWON looking clean and confident in game 1 of this series. 24 minutes in, they will secure the first base tower, and they're looking to get themselves the second. ShowMaker now split pushing off in a side lane. Mad rooted in their base. It's going to be difficult to find a miracle fight, but they get good damage on the ShowMaker.
Miracle is definitely the word. DAMWON Kia so good at controlling the game in situations like this. ShowMaker down to half HP, but he's going to start healing up with that Immortal Shield Bow. DAMWON can just reset if they so desire. They still have a minute left on this Red Bull Baron power play. They've taken that in mid-inhibitor, and after that, they take the entire Mad jungle. Mad will get nothing from walking out on the map, instead just have to settle for the minions pushing in the mid lane. See, there's just no vision. There's nothing here for Mad. They have that one control ward behind this. As in goes Humanoid, and down goes Humanoid. Beautiful knock-up into the equalizer. The chain of corruption will lock Kaiser in place, and that is it. DAMWON Kia, you give them an inch, they take the whole damn mile. A clean ace for DAMWON as they only lose Ghost, and with a triple kill, Canyon has stamped his name on this game.
Exactly the start you want to see there for DAMWON. What a performance in the fights later on. We're only 25 minutes in. They were down a little bit of gold in the early game, but it did not matter. In every single 5 versus 5, they came out on top.
Beautiful play from DAMWON. They're looking to get a clean game and a clean series over Mad as the LCK first seed looks dominant to start off the semifinals.
DAMWON Kia with an impeccable performance, even equalizing the fountain as Mad Lions can't walk out of their base. The Nexus will fall and DAMWON will go 1-0 up in this semi.
The Nexus turret was the only thing in that game that could ever kill Canyon right at the end. Those Rumble ults were pretty nasty, and I have to say, the Mad Lions probably have to go back to the drawing board on that one. They drafted for early priority, they got some solid early game leads, but they did not have enough options, I felt, in the team fights to really stand much of a chance.
In my opinion, it was the first Rift Herald that really broke open the game. I think that DAMWON